The interstitium is a fluid-filled network of spaces that exists throughout the body. It is a continuous, interconnected structure found in and around all tissues and organs. The interstitium is essentially the space between cells, but it's now understood to be a dynamic, organized system rather than just empty space. Location: the interstitium is ubiquitous, meaning it's located almost everywhere in the body. You can find it under the skin in the dermis and superficial fascia, lining the digestive tract, lungs and urinary systems, surrounding arteries and veins as well as the fascia between muscles. The fluid within the interstitium, known as interstitial fluid or tissue fluid, is a filtrate of blood plasma. This fluid contains water, salts, nutrients, and waste products, and it's constantly being exchanged with the fluid inside capillaries, structure, and functions. The interstitium is composed of a latticework of collagen and elastin fibers that form a honeycomb-like reticulum. This meshwork is filled with interstitial fluid, which makes up about 20% of the body's total weight. This fluid is a mix of water, ions, and other solutes that leak out of blood capillaries. The structure acts as a shock absorber to protect organs and tissues from physical stress. The primary functions of the interstitium include transportation. It acts as a highway for nutrients and signaling molecules to travel between organs, cells, and capillaries. Immune response. The interstitial fluid contains immune cells such as macrophages and mast cells, which serve as a first line of defense against pathogens. The fluid also carries antigens and cytokines that are essential for immune regulation. Lymph formation. Interstitial fluid that enters the lymphatic system becomes lymph, which is then transported to lymph nodes for immune surveillance and eventually returned to the bloodstream. Mechanical support. The fibrous components provide tensile strength and flexibility, helping to support the structure of various organs and tissues, including the skin, lungs, and gut.
Interstitial lung disease, ILD, is a broad term for a group of over 100 chronic lung disorders that cause inflammation and scarring, or fibrosis, of the lungs. This damage primarily affects the interstitium, which is the delicate network of tissue and space that surrounds the tiny air sacs, called alveoli. In a healthy lung, the interstitium is very thin, allowing oxygen from the alveoli to easily pass into the bloodstream. When a person has ILD, this tissue becomes thickened and stiffened due to inflammation and scarring. This makes it difficult for the lungs to expand and for oxygen to effectively transfer from the air sacs into the blood. The result is a reduced supply of oxygen to the body's organs, leading to the primary symptoms of the disease. Key features of interstitial lung disease: inflammation and fibrosis, scarring. The core of ILD is an abnormal healing response to an injury in the lungs. Instead of repairing the tissue properly, the body's repair process goes awry, leading to inflammation and an excessive buildup of scar tissue, fibrosis. This process is often irreversible and can worsen over time. Difficulty with gas exchange. The thickening and stiffening of the interstitium impede the passage of oxygen into the bloodstream and carbon dioxide out of it. This inefficiency is the root cause of the main symptoms. Symptoms. The most common symptoms are shortness of breath, dyspnea, and a dry, persistent cough. As the disease progresses, these symptoms may become more severe, with shortness of breath occurring even at rest. Other symptoms can include fatigue, weight loss, and in advanced stages, clubbing of the fingers and toes, a widening and rounding of the fingertips, and a bluish discoloration of the lips and skin due to low blood oxygen levels, cyanosis. Causes. The causes of ILD are diverse and can include autoimmune diseases. Conditions like rheumatoid arthritis, lupus, and scleroderma can cause inflammation that leads to ILD. Environmental and occupational exposures. Long-term inhalation of hazardous materials such as asbestos, silica dust, coal dust, or even certain organic dusts, for example from mold or bird droppings, can trigger the disease. Medications. Certain drugs, including some chemotherapy agents and heart medications, can have lung damage as a side effect. Idiopathic. In many cases, the cause is unknown. The most common form of ILD with an unknown cause is called idiopathic pulmonary fibrosis, IPF. Diagnosis and treatment. Diagnosing ILD involves a physical exam, a review of medical and family history, and various tests such as high-resolution CT scans, pulmonary function tests, and sometimes a lung biopsy. While the scarring from ILD is generally not reversible, treatments aim to slow the progression of the disease, manage symptoms, and improve quality of life. Treatment options may include medications to reduce inflammation or slow scarring, oxygen therapy, and in severe cases,
Edema. This condition is characterized by an excessive accumulation of fluid in the interstitial spaces, often caused by increased pressure in the capillaries or issues with lymphatic drainage. It results in swelling in the affected tissues. Cancer metastasis. The fluid-filled channels of the interstitium may act as a conduit for the spread of cancer cells, allowing them to travel from a primary tumor to other parts of the body.